Creed 2 is a sequel to Creed, which came out in 2015. It's also the 8th film in the Rocky franchise. Besides Sylvester Stallone back once again as Rocky Balboa, this film sees Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson return to their roles as Adonis Creed and Bianca respectively. The film also stars Dolph Lundgren and Florian Montiano. It is directed by Stephen Capel Jr. After winning the light heavyweight boxing title in Creed, Adonis tries to balance his personal and professional life when he's challenged by Victor Drago, played by Florian Montiano. Victor is the son of Ivan Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren, the man who killed Apollo Creed in the ring all the way back in Rocky IV, which came out in 1985. If you haven't watched that film, you just got a spoiler that's over 30 years old. Now, Adonis needs to dig deeper than before to find the strength and resolve to avenge his father's death in the biggest professional and personal challenge of his life. This 8th installment in the Rocky franchise is torn between drawing from the history of all his predecessors while having its own clear identity. If it wasn't evident before, Rocky has now been primarily categorized as a mentor/father figure. Yet, Creed 2 still follows the formulaic emotional beats now familiar with this boxing series. What might surprise you is how you are compelled to care about the Dragos. There's a pathos to both Ivan and Victor, who aren't treated as typical antagonists. Their backstory addresses an intriguing question. What happens to the bad guy after he fails? Dolph Lundgren gives a nuanced performance that communicates a lot without saying too much. Honestly, his turned out to be the most surprising performance for me. Playing his son Victor is a considerable responsibility for newcomer Florian, but he's convincingly menacing. If there's one actor who has really come into his own this year, it's Michael B. Jordan. He infuses Adonis with the intensity and vulnerability needed to portray the multiple ranges of emotions through the course of this film. However, to invest more time into its character arcs, the screenplay slacks across various points, often falling prey to the standard nature of its very premise. While this leads to a lot of nostalgic moments, they are all too predictable. This comes at the cost of the relationship between Bianca and Adonis. It only stands to reason Bianca would be an essential element to Adonis' support system as he faces the biggest challenge of his life. But the emotional moments between them fail to register as much as they should, despite the substantial efforts by Tessa Thompson. Worse still, the actual fights are unimaginative and all too forgettable. Chalk this down to uninspired writing. Even the most uneducated filmgoer will be able to guess how the film pans out. And yet, the sturdy if measured direction by Stephen Capel Jr. manages to ensure that although Creed 2 might come across as a guilty pleasure, there's no shame in enjoying it just for nostalgic reasons. I'm going with 3.5 stars for Creed 2. There were no big surprises in the story, but the great cast put together another good entry in the Rocky series, although I wonder where it will go from here. Guys, which is your favorite Rocky film from the whole franchise? Let me know in the comments below and keep watching It's Entertainment only on Mirror Now, you first.